In the 1888 election, the Republicans put up lawyer Benjamin Harrison against President Grover Cleveland. Harrison was a Civil War veteran who appealed to his fellow comrades. He was also called the big money candidate, with special interests running his campaign. The big money issue of the day was the tariff, as the Republicans and Harrison favored a higher tariff on foreign goods. This was the biggest issue in the campaign. The biggest issue in 1888 was the tariff on foreign goods, and the nation was completely divided. Cleveland kept a low tariff while he was president, but Benjamin Harrison and the Republicans favored a higher tariff. In the end, Grover Cleveland would win the popular vote. However, Benjamin Harrison won the electoral vote and would become the 23rd President of the United States. Harrison would take office 100 years after the inauguration of George Washington. To commemorate America's centennial, Harrison reenacted Washington's inaugural address in New York City. Many considered it going down in 100 years, going from George Washington to Benjamin Harrison. Harrison would have to try to fill some big shoes, as one Benjamin Harrison had signed the Declaration of Independence, and his grandfather, William Harrison, had been a hero in the War of 1812 and was also elected President of the United States. Harrison began losing support due to his indifferent demeanor. He alienated political bosses, some of who helped him get elected. Harrison nearly bankrupted the Treasury. He presided over the first billion-dollar Congress and passed the first comprehensive Civil War pension legislation. As pension benefits were expanded, 14-year-old girls were marrying 70-year-old Civil War soldiers knowing they'd collect a pension. Under Harrison, the McKinley Tariff passed, which increased the tariff on foreign goods. This was aimed to help American businesses, but in the end, it led to high prices and nearly ruined Harrison's administration. Two major laws passed under Harrison, named after Senator John Sherman, who helped the compromise between the House and Senate. The Sherman Antitrust Act in 1890 outlawed monopolies. However, with prices falling, any negatives that were seen in monopolies were not evident in 1890. For example, Standard Oil controlled 90% of the market, but they led the reduction of energy prices. In a trust, a smaller business gives 100% control to a trust in return for trust certificates of equal value. They don't lose money, just control. Standard Oil formed a trust, and other industries looked to do the same. To the lawmakers, this seemed dishonest and shifty. After the law passed, the trusts simply became holding companies, as businesses could get approval from state governments to hold stock in other companies. However, professional managers were already abandoning monopolies and trusts in favor of vertical combination. Less concerned about competition, more concern of efficiency by acquiring sources of raw materials, transportation, warehousing, and sales. They were more efficient than monopolies and trusts. For example, Standard Oil owned each step of the oil process. The Sherman Antitrust Act actually made businesses bigger and more powerful, which was an unintended consequence. J.P. Morgan had bought Carnegie Steel and merged it with John Wayne Gates' American Wire Company and other businesses and formed U.S. Steel, the world's first billion-dollar corporation. The Sherman Silver Purchase Act would coin silver, but it turned out to be nearly fatal to the economy, as many profiteers and speculators rushed to exchange cheap silver for undervalued gold. This would lead to problems in the 1890s. Harrison aimed to help the common man, but the coinage of silver and the McKinley Tariff would both damage the economy, as seen in the next administration. Without foreign competition from the tariff, prices skyrocketed, and Harrison's popularity with the common man plummeted.